Hello, dear listeners. Do you enjoy playing video games with your best friends? Then I have the pod for you. I'm Philip, host of the Gaming Together, a cooperative podcast. Each week, my co-host Nave and I break down a cooperative experience in gaming, and we are always looking for new co-op partners to join us. So come play with us on the Gaming Together podcast.
So I'm standing over this toilet taking a piss, and I'm playing my Pokemon, and I dropped it in the toilet. I remember the Game Boy just tumbling into water. And I remember screaming for my mom, trying to get this Game Boy
Wait,
out,
how old were you?
and she yelled at me. And
Oh
I was
my
just,
god.
like, traumatized. I was like, no, my Pokemon.
That's Gaming Together, a cooperative podcast. Come on down, co-op partners.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the It Just Works podcast. I am your host Ryan, and I apologize for this sounding weird. My microphone is acting weird right now, so I have to record this intro on my iPhone 12 through voice memos in my truck. Well, I don't have to do it in my truck, but I am. Today we have a great episode. Alex is back on the show. We're going to be talking about Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring Extended Edition. It's one of my personal favorite trilogies ever made, and I think we do a really good job of talking about it. It's a lot of fun, of course. And as always, if we want to hear from you, so make sure to email us at itjustworkspod@gmail.com. Once again, that is itjustworkspod@gmail.com. If you have any opinions, concerns, feedback, if you like the show, don't like the show, and you want to tell me about it, then please email me, and I'd love to hear from you. Let's just get to the show. Let's cue that intro. Show everybody, this is the It Just Works podcast. I'm your host Ryan, and today I have the amazing Alex. He's back. It's been a long time since he's been back. He recently got married. Alex, congratulations on your marriage. I couldn't be happier for you guys. What's it like to be a married man right now?
I have the one ring to rule them on. It's on.
That's awesome. Yeah, man. Well, congrats to you guys on that. That's amazing. Yeah, your pictures look great. It's just nice to see it go well. You know, this time of year we're in, this kind of year we're having, it's nice to see something positive come out of it. So congrats to you on that. But we are going to talk about Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring Extended Edition today. I'm pretty excited to talk about this, especially with you. You know way more about Lord of the Rings than I do when it comes to the lore. One of the things we were just talking about is how it was hard to find something wrong or something that you didn't like with the movies. You know, when I was a kid, like I said, I just told you I didn't really care for like the beginning parts, you know, Bilbo's birthday party and whatnot. But watching it again, this movie's really well done. You know, the Shire, the way Peter Jackson just designed everything and the set pieces when they're in the ruins fighting the cave troll and the orcs. Like, just that little room right there, like, I'm like, how the fuck did he do this, man?
I know, and the scenery from New Zealand is absolutely stunning.
Yeah, New Zealand might be one of the most beautiful places on the planet, for sure.
Yeah, Peter Jackson, he'd be up in the helicopter, and they'd be flying by, and they'd just be taking running shots.
Yeah.
But all you need to do, now it's all green screen.
Yeah, well, it's crazy. So one of the things that happened this year, thanks to COVID, one of the good things that come out of it, I guess, is Josh Gad had the cast of Lord of the Rings do a reunion show, like on Zoom calls, and they were talking about how they literally were flying in those helicopters to even just get to the scenes that are the places they need to film their scenes, and just talking about the filming process of this movie was like the most intricate thing I've ever heard of. They actually filmed all three movies side by side. None of them were like, it wasn't Fellowship was done first, and then, all right, cool, let's move to the Two Towers. All three, like, I think the first shot they ever made was actually Return of the King.
Yep.
Yeah, I think, I don't remember which scene, but yeah, Return of the King was actually filmed, their scene was filmed first before Fellowship, so it's really mind-blowing to see the level of detail that went into this movie. And I don't know why, but I just didn't appreciate it as a kid. So my question for you is, did you see this movie in theaters when it originally came out?
No, I did not. I saw it at home. when it came out on DVD, and I actually didn't really care for it. Kid, but that was back in '01, so
Yeah.
a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. Well, I saw it in theaters myself, but just like you, I didn't really care for it. And I think it's because we were kids, like all the talking and all the details. Like one of the things I noticed last night that I still really didn't appreciate when I watched the extended edition in March was Gandalf himself. Like he's so knowledgeable. Like so one of my favorite scenes is when they're in the ruins, right? And the Balrog's coming. Like he knows what's up. And it's just like and it's not I wouldn't say cocky. It's just like this is how smart this guy is, and just like to see that, and the characters around him respect him and like go holy shit. Like I don't know. Like I think it's really cool, and well that whole scene is insane. Gimli in his reaction to the loss of his essentially clan members, if you will.
Oh yeah. Well, I believe I think his uncle from The Hobbit, uncle or father, one of the two. He's actually in the ruins next to the book. That's one of the dead relatives.
Oh, okay. Well, see, I remember him. I was listening to him say it last night, but I couldn't make out what he was saying because I had my fan on and it was like a wind tunnel in my room. So I should have put subtitles on. But it's just to see the level of depth that Peter Jackson put into these films is kind of crazy. Like I really struggled finding any issues with the film. All the dialogue, it really keeps you interested. As an adult, as a kid, good luck. I don't understand how you're gonna like the film because I really didn't when I was a kid. I liked it when there was people dying and shit.
Well, I mean, like kids have short attention spans, unless that's what they're into. But I wish the extended edition was the actual edition that came out in the movie theaters. I think a lot of people would have respected Lord of the Rings a lot more if they saw more depth instead of, cutting away at the movie.
Yeah, so that's actually one of my questions for you. Maybe you'll know more than myself, and I forgot to look it up last night. I could have just looked it up, but I didn't. So, I'll own up to that. The extended edition clearly does add a lot of extra scenes and content that is really essential to the storytelling of the movie. Do you know yourself what the actual extended scenes are? I know, like, one of them, I just saw it last night before I turned the movie off. But when they're going to meet Lady Galadriel, the elf captain who's in Two Towers who helps them at Isengard? Not Isengard. What's the city that's like they defend it literally on a wall in Two Towers? Like I'm like, how are they going to defend this against the whole entire army? And then the Knights of Rohan come in down the hill. What's that city called? Oh man,
I'm drawing a blank too. It's too early in the morning.
But you know what I'm talking about, though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well, he's the
Yeah,
elf
they're all up on the
captain
wall.
who brings his army to help. Well,
Mm-hmm.
he's in the Fellowship of the Ring, and I don't remember that being in the original film. Like him and Aragorn and Legolas are talking, and I don't remember that being a part of the original film. So it's weird. As I'm saying, like, yes, the extended edition adds a lot. You just know it does. Like, there's just scenes that they really just throw in there that add a lot of backstory to something you probably didn't think was there before.
Yeah, so I just looked it up, and so the theater version is 178 minutes, and the extended edition is 208.
Jesus,
So
dude.
30 more minutes, and then for Two Towers, 44 minutes, and Return of the King, 51 minutes.
Oh my God.
The extended edition for Return of the King is 4 hours and 11 minutes long.
I can't believe I finished that. There is a scene that I do specifically remember from Return of the King. That's an extended scene. I can't talk about it because we're saving that for another episode, but I remember my favorite scene from that for sure. The extended scene. Anyways, what is your favorite moment in this movie? If you could pick one. It's really hard, but what would be your favorite moment?
It's split right down in the middle. It's the scene right after Gandalf dies, when they're running out, and you can just see the uh, look of sorrow on everybody's faces, and uh, Vigo having to rally them all together and say, "We need to go," and then Boromir's death.
Okay, I hate you because believe it or not, that is my favorite scene in the entire film. Is when Gandalf sacrifices himself to the Balrog, and you see on Aragorn's face when he's inside the ruin still, like just like oh my god, like he just did that, like
Yeah,
like it was insane because I think like Aragorn kind of looked at Gandalf like not immortal but like he wouldn't let that happen. Not that it's his fault. The Balrog said, "You're coming with me." Um,
get over here,
yeah, literally, get over here.
welcome.
Go watch the Mortal Kombat episode or listen to the Mortal Kombat episode if you haven't done that yet. It's probably the best one we've ever done. Yeah, so when they're going out of the ruins and they're all trying to rally together, everyone, even like Gimli's like, damn, dude. Like,
Yeah,
they are all distraught. They don't know what to do. They essentially lost their guide to an extent, though. I mean, obviously Strider knows where to go. He's knowledgeable of the land. So is Legolas and Gimli, but even Boromir. But Gandalf was essentially the guide. Like he knew exactly where he was going. He knew how not to delay them on their travels. It's crazy. It's really crazy. That's my personal favorite scene. But the other scene you chose, where you say it's split 50-50, is when Boromir actually dies. And it's really cool the way they did it in my mind because it's when, right before that, he was trying to take the ring from Frodo. And you can tell that Boromir's like, holy shit, like, I cannot do this. Like, it is his ring. Like, he has to be the one to destroy it. Like, the hearts of men aren't strong enough for this ring. They become corrupted. And from him to go to that, to instantly fighting, like, in a squad of orcs and, what is it, Yuriks? They're the bigger ones?
you're a guy.
Urukai. To see him just, like, really start annihilating them. You can see his fighting skills as a sword master. Like, he knows what he's doing. When he blows the Horn of Gondor, I think that was dope. I think that was super cool, actually. And just to see that fight and him go down the way he did was like, it went full circle for this character because when you meet him at the meeting, before they create the fellowship, when the ring's just sitting there on the pedestal and he's looking at it, you're like, all right, well, this guy looks like he can't be trusted, and you kind of feel that throughout the movie. He does what he does with Frodo, and then completely redeems himself by pretty much saving the hobbits all on his own until everyone else shows up, which I don't know how they got so split up. But yeah, would you like to add to that?
Well, I mean, Frodo walks off, and then Boromir tries to take the ring, and I mean, like, they really captured addiction really well between like Boromir and Bilbo
Mm-hmm.
on the ring. Uh, but so Boromir tries to take away the ring, and then Frodo puts it on to get away. Uh, and then Aragorn comes up, and Frodo's like, "How can I trust you?" And he's holding out the ring, and Aragorn fights it. He shows he's a lot better than Boromir without taking the ring. But when Aragorn and Boromir are, he's like holding his hand as Boromir's dying. He's like, spewing out that he's like, I failed and everything. That hit hard.
No, it does hit hard because he is a good person. He really does care a lot about Gondor and doing the right thing, but he did fall for that addiction to the ring that everyone does, Even Gollum, even Gandalf, like, you can tell that he, like, I don't want to look at it. And to see him, like, say those last few words before he died, it was pretty intense. It's like, damn, dude. Like, he really, really redeemed himself, though, at the same time. And it sucks because, well, we'll talk about that later on in Two Towers and Return of the King as we meet his family.
Yeah, I would say it's like the ring is a call to the void.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't stop yourself. And like even in the beginning when Bilbo puts on his little show and Gandalf finds out he has the ring,
Uh-huh.
uh, you can just see like the addiction growing. He's like, "All right, I'm off now," and then Gandalf's like, "Bilbo, you still have the ring."
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh yes, right, in my pocket."
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy too. Well, one of the things too we see with Bilbo is, after Frodo goes to Rivendell to get healed after he gets stabbed by one of the
Blades.
I'm sorry?
All blades.
Yeah. So after he gets stabbed, they go to Rivendell and he gets healed. He sees Bilbo again. And Bilbo's reaction to him, like, seeing the ring with Frodo was like kind of creepy. He looks like a damn goblin.
Like turning into Gollum because Gollum's a hobbit too.
Right. Smeagol. Yeah. And it's just crazy to see that, though. Like how he goes from just being normal old Bilbo to essentially, yeah, like what you're saying is a Golem like character the second he sees the ringing. And, he starts saying, my precious and shit. So that's pretty intense. Speaking of Golem, what a great character that is. What did you think of Golem when you were a kid? Did you care about him much? Or you're like, oh, this is kind of weird?
He's not really in this film, to
Right.
be honest.
He's literally, so you see him, well, you don't see him, but you see his limbs, I guess, when he's getting tortured, and then him screaming Bilbo and Baggins.
Yeah, and then he's following them in the mines in Moria.
But that's pretty much it, right? They don't
Yeah.
really like talk about him much.
Now he comes to play in the next movie a lot more.
Almost instantly, right?
Yeah, because in the end,
They get split up.
Sam and Frodo are climbing over the mountains, and that's where they meet him.
Right.
Making potatoes.
Potatoes. Yeah, so they get split up at
Mash
the
them,
end.
stick them in a stew.
What's that?
Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Yeah, right. You got a big enough cup for your fucking coffee, dude? That looks like a bowl for like a soup or something. That's awesome. Yeah, so I don't know. That character is interesting, but obviously we'll get to talk about him more in Two Towers. What did you think of Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli? I mean, we don't see them like we do in Two Towers and Return of the King. Obviously they do a lot more like we're a three-man squad. We're gonna fucking do our thing. But just as characters, what did you think so far?
Well, so I liked him, and towards the end when Frodo and Sam and are going off to the north to go to Mordor. I think it's north. Anyways, north side of the lake.
I'm pretty sure it's north. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Aragorn says, or Legolas is starting to push out the boat to go chase him, and Aragorn's like, "No, this is their quest alone. We can't handle the ring." And he's like, "Let's go hunt some orcs." I mean, that's like it draws the conclusion of the unity of the races, like man, dwarf, and elves making a pact, which I thought was really cool because Gimli and Legolas kind of hated each other in the beginning.
Right, because of their race's history.
Yeah, so I thought that was cool and beginning of another fellowship.
No, it really is, and I think like you said, Peter Jackson really showed the level of like a really good idea of addiction when it comes to people when they look at the ring or try to get their hands on it, right? And I think what you're talking about now is actually another way that Peter Jackson wanted to show that putting aside your differences and coming together, literally for war, like it's literally a war for for the entire world. And what's that?
War of the World.
War of the Worlds. So Tom Cruise is going to be there too. I just think it's cool to see how well he did it. I think one of my favorite parts as well is when they're at that meeting once again, and besides one does not simply walk into Mordor, the best fucking meme ever when Legolas like steps up to Boromir and talks about like, hey, that's like the fucking son of, sorry, I forgot Aragorn's name, but the rightful heir to Gondor. Everyone's like,
Isildur.
huh?
Isildur.
Isildur? Dude, the subtitles just said a
Isildur.
still door. I just think that's really cool though, because everyone's like, oh shit, you know, like the level of respect that they have for Aragorn is super badass. Like he's just, I don't know, I think I'm a sucker for storytelling when they have like a person who's just naturally a good person. I mean, obviously, if we've ever tried playing D&D, I pretty much like make a character that's along the lines of what Strider's got going for him. But I just think he's so like such a natural leader, and it's cool to see that. Like he doesn't know everything, and you know, obviously, like you said, let them go. You know, let's go fight some orcs. Like he knows that they can't be around the ring that much, and the hobbits know where they're going, surprisingly. And I don't know. I just think it's really cool the way they showed this character in the first film. Obviously, in the next two films, we get all three of them doing their thing, and I think it's so badass. Yeah, I don't know. I could talk about that shit all day, but obviously, we're only talking about the first film.
Right.
So,
So,
oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
would you change anything about the movie?
Yeah. So, obviously, Peter Jackson didn't have it planned when he was first making the films, but obviously, now that we have the Hobbit trilogy, which I know didn't need to be a trilogy in true Lord of the Rings fans' eyes, I guess I'm not a true fan because I fucking love the Hobbit still. I'll take anything I can get out of Lord of the Rings. I know they changed a lot. Alex, stop shaking. He's shaking his head, everybody. I kind of wish, well, I don't know, because they show the map, right? They show the Lonely Mountain on the map, well, when Bilbo's in his study. I kind of wish there was just a little bit more of the Hobbit in the beginning, like talking about it, maybe referencing it. I mean, I guess they do reference it with the firework, you know, the Red Dragon firework, the Lonely Mountain on the map. And his book, and if you scroll through the pages on the book, they definitely show moments that are from actual the Hobbit movie, the way Peter Jackson made it. But I guess I would have liked to see a little bit more.
And you got Sting, and you got the mithril armor.
Okay, I guess I get enough. I don't know. I like the idea of the Hobbit story. I never read the book. I still think what we got in the movies is cool. I don't know why everyone hates it so much, to be honest with you. Maybe
They added too much shit to it.
like Legolas and
There was actually a bunch of people who cut down the movie to 2 hours, all three of them, of The Hobbit, and made it into
technically what
the
it could have
most, the most accurate Hobbit story.
been. I might watch that then. I don't know. Okay, well, we'll take that aside since, you know, honestly talking to you about it right now, there technically is a lot of references to The Hobbit, and it's pretty much the most important ones, to be honest. I guess it would have been cool to see, like, maybe the dwarfs, like, maybe a couple of them. I don't know. I'm a sucker for, like, reunions and, you know, Gandalf and Bilbo seeing each other in the beginning. I don't know why my voice is going out all of a sudden. You know, seeing each other in the beginning is kind of cool. But if I had to change anything else, I think Frodo. Okay, this is a stretch. I just got to say something, right? I think Frodo's kind of a whiny bitch. I hate how like I don't know. I think he's too whiny. Yeah. Is he
He's
supposed to?
under the corruption of the ring.
Yeah, well, you know, get over it.
All right. Yeah, I mean, like, throughout the movie, he is trying to give it away. He does not want that burden.
No, he really doesn't, and
He was thrust in that. He was thrust into that position, and Gandalf did not want him to have it either because he promised Bilbo he was going to look after Frodo.
Right.
Frodo got thrusted into that.
Yeah, and then seeing Gandalf's reaction when he said, "I'll take it," was pretty cool too. It was like, oh damn. Honestly, anybody listening, I'm just trying to be nitpicky because I really do believe this is one of the most well-made movies in history. I don't know if I really have any true issues with it. Just things I would have liked to seen. I don't know. Just fucking throw a dragon in the movie. Why not? I want to see some dragons. I don't know. Because they have the Kraken? They have the Kraken in it? Is it called a kraken though in their
I
lore?
don't. I forget what it's called.
But it's
Uh,
basically a kraken.
yeah, I'd call it the Kraken or giant octopus
Yeah, so they have that before they enter the ruins, right? And then they have the Balrog, they have the orcs, like I just
and goblins
and goblins,
and
um, and what?
Urukai
Yeah.
and the
So
cave troll.
and the cave troll. I thought it's not really adding to it, I guess, but I don't know. I thought the level of like the creatures they had and essentially enemy types, if you will. I thought that was like really well done too. But if there's anything you could add to the movie, Alex, what would it be?
Um, just like we were talking before we started.
Yeah, of course.
Uh, when Gandalf was explaining how they're going to get to the Misty Mountains, it's going to take 40 days. I wish they did that a little bit more. They gave like little subtleties, like when they went to the Prancing Pony in the beginning
Hmm.
to find Gandalf, and the barkeep says, "Oh, I haven't seen Gandalf in 6 months."
Yeah.
So, like, it really shows how big of a stretch their adventure is. Instead of like one scene they're in the Shire,
Hmm.
next scene they're at the Prancing Pony in Bree.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
So yeah, because I'm reading a Halo book right now, and they say at the beginning of every chapter the time and day it is of the military calendar. So for this movie, if you could add that in, or if it was to be added in, would you literally want it like on your screen 2 weeks later, 1 month later? Like literally, it says it on the fucking screen.
not that
Just an
like
audible
like
acknowledgement of it.
yeah, like well, well, Sam, we've been traveling for 4 months. Not like 4 months, 5 days, and 2 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
But like just subtle
Like
subtleties.
acknowledgement of the time it's taken to get to their destination.
Yeah.
I think that would have been cool too. I mean, people talk about that in real life. They're like, "Oh yeah, it took me a week to get to your house," which it did. It took us, like a weekend to drive up to you. Um, we talk about it, so it's natural for people to talk about it. So it would have been cool if they added that into the film. And as you said too, like the barkeep's like, "I haven't seen Gandalf in 6 months," and it's like, "Well, holy shit! Like, how long is this journey taking everybody?" And it takes quite a while. So it would be nice if they added that. Is there anything else you would have liked to seen added? Literally anything else that could be dialogue, uh, weapons, characters, creatures. I mean, anything in the first film that you think would fit.
No. Um, I'd say it's good. Oh, and there was another. Oh, I didn't hit my mic. Sorry.
You're fine.
There was another thing from The Hobbit in the extended edition. There was the trolls that Bilbo and the uh,
That's from
party.
that's from the extended edition. He didn't say that in the original film,
I don't think so.
but you're talking about how they almost got cooked, right?
He said that in the beginning, but there's a part where they go past the trolls.
What?
Yeah.
Huh? How did I miss that? Is that at the end?
No, it's in the beginning when Merry, Pippin, Sam, and Frodo are heading towards Bree, I believe. Say, hey, this is the trolls Uncle Bilbo was talking about.
Oh my god! How did I miss that?
Yeah, they're all, you know, stone because of the light.
Oh, yes, yes, yep, yep. And I think the camera shows their face or something on the
Yeah,
stone.
3 of them.
Okay. Wow, dude. Look at you. Damn. That's a really good Hobbit reference, too, because that scene was pretty fucking funny. It wasn't meant to be funny, but it's just like what happens is crazy, and then they turn them into stone. Okay. Wow, nice one.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed, actually. I saw that last night, too, and I'm like, huh, that face. Okay, that's awesome. Um, Anything else that you'd like to mention about the Fellowship of the Ring? Obviously, it's kind of hard to talk about this movie without trying to bleed into Two Towers, because all these movies flow so well together.
Amazing music.
Yeah. Wow. Talk about
Dun,
that theme song.
dun,
Dude, right?
dun, dun, dun.
You can keep going. I know it's killing you. That
I
is
don't know if you
awesome.
heard that.
No, no, I did. It's pretty good. Yeah, if the theme song doesn't make you want to get on a horse and ride down some goddamn country land, I don't know what does.
This makes me want to play Battle for Middle Earth too.
Oh, I miss that game so much. I should just buy it on my computer. Yeah, what an amazing soundtrack, dude. Like seriously, I mean everything they do is good in the sad moments. Real quick, I actually have a question for you. So I don't know if this is a gripe or if they just really don't like water. So what are the Nazgul called? Or is it Nazgul?
That
That
was cool.
Yeah, so you know when they're chasing Liv Tyler when she's got Frodo to go heal him? Are they really that scared of water? Like it's just a little puddle in the river. Like they won't immediately like they stop chasing her when she gets across the river. But it's like it's very shallow water. It's not like it's gonna, like do you
I
think it was
believe
reasonable for them to stop?
I believe in the books they do not like water
Okay. Okay.
because they don't chase Sam and Frodo when they're going across the ferry.
Well, in my opinion, that was different because that was a body of water, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas the river, it's like your horse can step on it and you're just not gonna feel it. So,
I don't know, but they like kind of. I forget what. I don't know if they're scared of water or not. I can't remember. But
well, they're scared of
horses
fire
freak.
too.
Well, yeah. I mean, Aragorn throws a freaking torch in one's face. I thought that was kind of all right.
Yeah, it's a
Guess he's a
little.
ranger.
He's a ranger. He can do whatever he wants. Yeah, I just wanted to ask you about that because I thought when it came to them chasing her down the river, it was like kind of ridiculous. I mean, but obviously, everyone that's listening, I haven't read the books. So yeah, maybe they are just that terrified of water. It's a weakness in their mind. I don't know. But I think that scene's pretty badass too when she just like calls down the water and like, all right, well now they're washed away. So they're donezo.
Okay. So I just looked it up. Nazgul, being race, may fear water, but they are not harmed by water. However, their mounts can be drowned. That is why the race avoids attempting to the jump onto the ferry. And yeah,
Oh, okay.
so the mounts were scared of the water,
Right.
uh, and she, summoned water horses that flew them away.
Oh yeah, they got rid of them real quick. What did you think of Lord Elrond?
He was good.
Yeah, Hugo Weaving. He's perfect for that role. That dude nails it, man. It's so cool to see him in The Hobbit. You know, the best movies ever. Just so, are you saying too that you legitimately didn't like him, or
Uh, they're all right. They're a lot better than
the sequel trilogy of
Star.
Star Wars? Dude, we cannot escape Star Wars no matter how hard we try. It's not gonna happen.
Nightmares.
I still have nightmares over it. Yeah, I thought he was a cool character. I thought the Rivendell looked amazing. And I just think once again, like all these set pieces they make just look flawless. They really do. They really make the world feel alive, or feel alive. I mean, yeah. So anybody listening, I truly do believe this is one of the most, like hands down, one of the most perfect movies ever made. I truly can't find any issues with it, even if I tried. Me saying Frodo's a whiny bitch is literally just me trying to nitpick, but as Alex said, it's literally him, having to deal with a ring and try not to be corrupted by it and seduced by it, and how much he really wants to get rid of it at the same time. So,
It's like me with Anakin Skywalker. Hayden
oh,
Christensen.
whoa, dude, whoa, okay,
I know, he's just playing a role.
okay. As is, why am I forgetting Frodo's name real quick? Such a good actor. Jesus.
Stew on that one.
What?
Let you stew on that one.
Because you know who it is. Yeah. What? Uh, just say.
Wood.
Oh, Elijah Wood. Thank you. Jesus, dude. I don't know why that was like so hard to like process. Anyways, so honestly, for this movie, I would say I'd give it a 9. Actually, I'm gonna say it. I really do believe after watching it, I watched a lot the last half, months ago, and I watched pretty much most of it last night. I think it's a 10 out of 10. I really do. As a movie to set up a trilogy, I think everything's done right. I pretty much don't have any questions either. So, what would you rate this film, Alex?
Um,
Also, do you have a favorite of the trilogy before you answer? Like, of the three, do you have a favorite one of them? You don't have to answer yet, obviously, if it's not this one, but we could save that for the last.
no, I gotta watch them again to really determine that one.
Has it been a while since you've seen the other two?
Uh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Last time I watched them was like 5 years ago.
Jesus. Yeah, it's been a while. Oh my God. Yeah, I watched all three extended editions in 1 week this year when COVID hit. So let me tell you, you're in for a treat because they hold up really well. All right, so what would you rate the film?
Say 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, not gonna give it that solid perfection. Can't do it.
Oh, there's only one movie that gets a 10 out of 10.
Is that The Fly?
No. Rubber.
Oh shit, dude! What about Thanksgiving, man? Come on now, a rubber, dude. Oh my God, you really went there. Is there a movie that you do legitimately believe deserves it though?
Yeah. National Treasure.
Nicolas Cage, dude. Hey, you know what? Fuck you, man. National Treasure is pretty dope. It's just completely historically inaccurate.
Oh, I love National Treasure. And it has freaking Boromir in there.
Oh wait, I forgot. You actually do cherish Nick Cage. That's why you said National Treasure. Jesus. I forgot how much of a Nick Cage fan you are. We should review, or we should talk about National Treasure sometime. That'd be pretty funny.
We can watch both of them.
Yeah. I'll just
I watched both of them the other week.
No, you didn't. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Are you still like all about Nick Cage and shit? Just watching all of his films? Are you still collecting all of his Blu-rays?
No, I haven't done that, but I've been watching a lot of his movies.
He's like the worst actor in Hollywood. Like, I can't believe you. Like, have you seen Face Off? It's not a good film.
Okay, I mean, compared to all the rest of them,
I mean, Con Air, he looks like Jesus.
or the War.
Oh, I actually never watched that. Is it
Watch
stupid?
that one. Oh, it's really good.
Oh, I didn't know. I think I saw the trailer for it back in the day, and I thought it was like meant to be like a joke film. Is it not? Oh,
About
oh,
gun.
oh. Okay. Well, maybe I'll check it out one of these days. So one of the things that's scaring me right now is it says that we've been on the call for 42 minutes. Oh, you know what? Never mind. So we were on the call before I hit the record button. All right, never mind. We're good. So, Alex, is there anything you'd like to say to the audience out there? And I must talk to you about this. So we haven't talked in a while because you've just been so damn busy with work, life, getting married. It's kind of a big deal. We have people listening to this show from around the world now. There's people who consistently listen in Germany, Japan, Canada, Mexico, and France. So, do you have anything to say to those lovely people? Everybody around the world, thank you for listening. But we didn't, when I started this show, I didn't expect anyone to listen to it outside, my city, because I would say, hey, friends, listen to the show. So, do you have anything to say to our friends around the world?
Hello.
Okay, that's it, everybody.
Thank you for listening.
No, but seriously, Alex, thank you for being on the show. I appreciate you coming back. Lord of the Rings is one of the best trilogies ever made. It's going to be exciting to talk about Two Towers and Return of the King, especially since you haven't watched them in 5 years. But that's it for us today. We will see. I will probably be doing an episode on the Pokemon expansion that just came out this week. I will be doing a review for it on Friday. So expect that next week, and we will talk to you guys real soon. Goodbye.